If I were to tell you that Alperen Sengun would go down with a very scary injury, would you still think that the Rockets would go on a 10-game win streak? Because personally, I would not think that. But right now, the Houston Rockets are doing the unthinkable, going on a 10-game win streak in a very contested Western Conference, chasing the Golden State Warriors. But today's video is going to help everybody that's behind the screen understand how the Houston Rockets are playing so good, and we're going to be doing this by breaking down the 3 standout Rockets players that contributed to this 10-game win streak, along with doing some film breakdown as well, so you guys better understand it. Before we go further with the first standout player, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's get right into it. So let's start off with the first standout player, and this is Jaylen Green. The dude went out there and dropped 37 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists on 74.4% true shooting against the OKC Thunder last night. Ever since the birth of his child, the dude went on an absolute tear, and his last 7 games just look like stats from a video game. But the one reason why Jaylen Green is actually playing so good is because of his playmaking. He is passing the ball in very tight areas, and I'm very surprised that he has improved on this side of the game. And let me break down some film to show you guys why his playmaking has gotten so good. On this first play, he gets a screen from Landale, and as Landale is cutting, he realizes that he's getting double teamed, so he just gets rid of that ball. A very simple pass for a very simple bucket. But trust me, it gets crazier than this, because on this play, Jaylen Green drives into the paint to attract 2 defenders, and when Giddey is sleeping, Jaylen Green throws the most perfect bounce pass in a very tight spot for the very tough Thompson layup. And Thompson is known for making these shots, so Jaylen Green once again knowing the tendencies of his players and getting them to the right spot. But what if I told you that Jaylen Green is even better during the clutch moments of the game when it comes to playmaking? With about 26 seconds on the clock, the Houston Rockets are down and have to make a bucket to take a lead in a very crucial 4th quarter. So what does Jaylen Green do? He once again drives into the paint to attract 3 defenders, giving him a wide open pass in the corner for a 3-point shot. Jaylen Green is so lethal when it comes to going downhill that you have no choice but to double the guy. And now, since Green's playmaking skills are more refined, when he gets doubled now, instead of turning the ball over, he finds the wide open shot. But I realized something crazy on the offensive end for Jaylen Green. When we look at players like Donovan Mitchell and all these superstars, they're good at splitting double teams and screens. And while this is something that Jaylen Green has mastered, on this first play, Jaylen Green gets the ball near the right wing and gets a screen by Dillon Brooks. But watch what he does. He knows that he has a slower Josh Giddey on him, so to take advantage of this, he throws the ball in front of Giddey and chases it to split the double team and get right at the rim and hang for a very tough layup. The IQ on this guy is insane, but it gets even more insane on this next play. Once again on this play, Jaylen Green gets another screen from Dillon Brooks, and oh my god, look who's there, Josh Giddey. And what does Josh Giddey do? He reaches for the ball, and Jaylen Green counters this and splits the defense by going through the legs, and when he's going at the rim, look at this layup, up and under. So let's just say this, Jaylen Green gave some payback to Josh Giddey, no diddy. But now let's move on to the second standout player on the Houston Rockets, and it can't just be one young dude that brings his team to a 10-game win streak. There has to be a second guy, and this second guy is Thompson, and literally the one reason why I think he helps this Rockets team is on the rebounding side of the ball. And in the most recent game, this guy put up 15 rebounds. But the most important thing about these rebounds is that not only does it give you second chance opportunities, it gives you the ability to grab the ball and push it in the transition for buckets, because you have fast players like Jaylen Green to do this. Like, look at this play for example. Thompson is right there to snag the rebound with his left hand. Are you kidding me? And after he does that, he grabs the ball and instantly doesn't hesitate to push the ball to Jaylen Green, and Jaylen Green gets a 3-pointer. But another underrated thing about Amen Thompson is that you can kind of use this guy as a power forward, like a kind of Draymond Green player where he could set you screens and get buckets. And let me show you what I mean. Over here, Amen Thompson is roaming around in the Draymond Green area, and after he sees the off-ball screen from Fred VanVleet, he instantly hands it off to Dillon Brooks. But look at the cutting skills. He sees that there's an open patch in the paint, so he instantly runs in there, and Dillon Brooks finds him for a crazy dunk. But trust me, it gets more crazy, because on this play, after the fake screen for Jalen Green, Amen just spots up at the top of the three-point line, and once he gets it, he turns into Draymond Green again by running into Jalen Williams and dropping the dude on the floor, and he proceeds to hand it off to Jabari Smith Jr. Then Jabari Smith Jr. just cooks in the mid-range and gets himself an and one bucket. Amen Thompson is hands down one of the most exciting players in the league for me right now, because when it comes to doing everything on the court, he can do it. His three-point shooting isn't there yet, but I think this is something that he could really work on, and he doesn't really need to be a good three-point shooter on this team because he has players like Jalen Green and Jabari Smith Jr. to help him with this stuff. Then to round off this Rockets team, you have two players in Fred VanVleet and Dillon Brooks that just are the glues that put this team together. And when you think about it, Fred VanVleet was brought in for a lot of money, you know. They put a lot of money in Fred VanVleet, but it was kind of worth it because what he does is that he playmakes for this roster, gets Jalen Green in the right spots, and not only is that vet in the locker room, but he can get you steals, he can get you blocks surprisingly, and he's just a very solid defensive piece. And similarly to Dillon Brooks, Brooks has one of the best three-point shots in the league this season. Everybody on YouTube was flaming the Houston Rockets for signing Dillon Brooks. You know, everyone was saying Shanghai Sharks, he doesn't deserve to be in the league. But look, the guy dropped 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, which catapulted the Houston Rockets to get their 10th straight victory. But what does Brooks bring to this roster is that player that's willing to get ejected by doing a lot of dumb things. But you know, that's the player you need on your roster, whether you like it or not. The Bucks have Bobby Portis. The Warriors have Draymond Green. You need the guy that's willing to help you out. And as much as people love to hate on Dillon Brooks, he is one of my favorite players right now in the league to watch because he's Canadian and so am I. And finally, Jabari Smith Jr. has to get a mention in today's video as well, spotting up so well and hitting very clutch three-pointers to put the Houston Rockets over the top in very, very close competitions. But let me know in the comment section, do you think that the Houston Rockets can steal the final play-in spot from the Golden State Warriors? And they're only one game behind the Warriors. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys are new, make sure you smash that like. Let's get to 1,000 likes if you're new, and hit that subscribe. We are almost at 15,000 subscribers. I love all you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.